This is an informational video for all those wanting to use Elevon mixing on the Fkysky Fs-i6s. The Fs-i6, I believe, already has a wing function or an Elevon mix function. The i6s does not. As stock, with the stock settings, you have one mix, so you can only do half of it. So let me show you how to get the full mix and what you need to do, the setup, to enable you in the settings in the mix to get the right performance, because the first time you'll do it, if you don't have the negative and the positive right, you'll get a mix like the elevator will work perfectly, one aileron will work correctly and the other aileron won't, and it'll always be one out. So let's start off with coming down to the transmitter itself. Turn them on, if you can see that with the glare. So what we need to do firstly is we need to update the software. So we need to go into System and Firmware Update. Now I will link in the description the firmware that you need. So you need to go onto the click the link, copy and paste the link, put it into your browser and go straight to that link. You will need your USB to micro USB or mini USB, whichever one it is, and then you'll go through that, you'll plug it in, it will run through it all, and then you basically download it. What I will say is you don't lose any settings you've already got on your transmitter, or at least I didn't. So you just need to go through the functions on here, download that software, but that's only half of it. So once we go and you've downloaded the software, you'll then come from the standard Fs-i6s one mix, and you'll now have the ability to mix 4 channels. 4. So once you go into the you've downloaded it, you've got it all ready, you've got it all set, you've bound your transmitter and receiver on the wing model or whatever model you're using it with, you'll then need to go into the settings on the mix. As stock, it only has 1, but you've now got 4. So these are the settings that you need to do for a run-of-the-mill, bog standard, no alteration, no reflex in it, just a standard mix. Okay, so you need to, hope you can see this, you need to go into, hang on, where are we, function. Obviously you need to make your model first, as in program it in and bind it to that one. So then you go into mix, and if you haven't done this before, it still only looks like you've got one mix. So if you go on to do another mix, number 2, so mix 2, the master is channel 2, slave is channel 1. There's 0 offset, negative 50% and positive 50%. Okay, so then you save that and then you go on to mix number 3. So mix number 1, sorry, is completely irrelevant. Okay, you just don't use it. Mix number 3, on, master is channel 2 and slave is channel 1, so they're the opposite way around. Again, the offset is 0. Now this is very important. You need to put negative minus 50% and positive minus 50%. If you don't put the negative and the minus, it will only work 2/3 of the mix will work. So you'll have either the ailerons are correct, and when you go to do elevator, you'll have one go up and one go down, or the opposite. So like you'll have the elevator works perfectly, depending on which is the master and which is the slave. So the elevator will work perfectly, but then the ailerons, when you go to do one side, it will work perfectly, and when you go to do the other, they'll both go up like an elevator. So that's basically what you need to know to be able to mix on an Fs-i6s. Always remember to save afterwards,